Hello everyone, been a while since I made a video, but here I'm making one, and today I'll be making a video on capes, a tier list on capes for each playable character, just to point out everything that I've done. I've fully gotten everyone to max level. See, I did not get everyone fully upgraded, only these two I didn't. But I did get everyone to max level. I've played everyone plenty of times. And I have got every single secondary objective complete for the entire story mode. I didn't get all the hero challenges done, but I didn't feel like grinding through all of that. But either way, I have beaten the entire game on hard mode with all the secondary objectives complete. Got everyone to max level, so I have a fair understanding of each character and how viable they are overall. And before I continue further, like always, this is my opinion, and I do believe that every hero is completely viable in every mission, and you can easily make them super viable, like super powerful. But this is just in my opinion. I'm going to be ranking them on a few things, which is up here: damage, durability, mobility, and utility. Damage is how much raw damage they can do. I will not be calculating insta-kills, like ledge kills, on this because I'm putting that in utility: pushes, disarms. Damage is just, you are going against someone, can you fully deplete, how fast do they fully deplete a unit's health bar? That's what damage is, just raw damage. Durability is how, obviously, durable they are. If they are going to get hit, how bad is it? I'm not taking mobility into account here, so let's say like you're really fast and you just don't get hit at all. I'm not counting that towards durability. Durability is you are getting hit, how bad is it? Obviously, one is you are it's very bad, don't get hit, and 5 is like, who cares, it's like your job. Mobility is how fast you are, obviously. Just movement speed, any other extra speeds you get through abilities and all that jazz. Yeah, and utility is everything else. Everything that's not in the other three categories is utility. Disarms, pushes, things you place down, shields you give people, all that jazz, and team-ups. I'm putting team-ups in utility too. Utility is a bit, team-ups are a bit weird. All of them are obviously good. You always use team-ups because it just makes your abilities better. But I'm going to say, about how good are they, from what I can tell. How often do I use a certain character's team-ups over other people's? That's what I'm putting that. So yeah, damage is raw damage. Durability is how good they are at taking hits. Mobility is how fast their utility is. Everything else. And I think I covered everything. My personal opinion. Honestly, the worst character is still an A. Like that's how. I think every character is honestly that good. It's just through my personal experience playing, what I found the most success with, this is just what I'm doing. Anyway, let's start at the bottom, work our way up to the top. And in my personal opinion, I think the worst is, unfortunately, Ignis. Simply put, I just don't like her a whole lot. Her whole theme is fire, putting fire everywhere, burning people, putting fire on the ground so that when enemies walk on it, they take damage, and all of that. Just through my opinion, I do not think burning people is that good, because if a lot of people in this game, a lot of the other caves, they just take someone out, take their health bar, put it to 0, now they're no longer a threat. Ignis does a lot of damage through AoE, that's something, but it's just in my opinion, her damage being mostly burn really sets her back, because it's just, I would rather have the person just done with, just out of the way. Honestly, I would just rather take someone and say, alright, they're done, they're not a threat anymore, less damage being taken away and all that. Her utility is also pretty lackluster. All she really has is a pretty good disarm. Max level, it's a 3 disarm, which is really, really good. I think only one other person has that, but otherwise it's just kind of mad damage. Her mobility is okay. I think she's 5 base movement, but she does have flame teleport. And if there's a lot of fire everywhere, you can really use this to your advantage. To really get some extra mobility, but not that great, about average. What else? Her team-ups are also pretty, I think, lackluster. Most of the time, oh, I guess this is for what she did with it. Oh no, this was it. Really, all of her team-ups are about placing fire down and burning people, which, you know, it adds extra damage to everyone, which is cool, but later on the list I'll explain someone who I think is just better at doing that, adding damage to your entire team. Anyway, down to the thing. Overall, damage-wise, I do think she's about a 3. She does good damage, not a ton of damage. I'm not taking her damage away, but I do think burn damage is a bit lower, and it's just overall. Mostly AoE. She's really good with at AoE, so if there's a lot of enemies and you're not worried about getting overwhelmed, AoE is generally better, but at the same time, if a lot of the missions, I think they don't give you that time to really burn people down over a long period of time, so I just about a 3. Durability wise, she actually is quite durable. I'm giving her a 4. I think her base health is 5, which is the highest, no tied for the highest. So she can take a lot of hits, but also her heal, she just has a base heal, she just heals herself. Max level is 2. Getting 2 health in a game where there's like no healing is very, very useful. She can heal all the damage she takes. She can actually kind of be a dedicated tank in a way. Because she takes some damage, she just spends all of her charge healing up. And when she doesn't need to heal, she adds fire everywhere. And because she's your tank, she doesn't need to do damage, but the fire does add up, so you know, it's pretty good. But, so all 4. Her mobility, I'm giving her a 2, just because, like, all she really has is some flame teleports, and you need to have a lot of fire everywhere for this to be useful. When there is a lot of fire, it's very good, but you have to set up, and base movement of 5 is really poor. Just not good. And utility, I'm giving her a 2 of that as well. Simply put fire on the ground, that doesn't deter people from moving towards you. They will just take damage. This is really just because her disarm is 3. She's got 3 disarm, which is really high at a range, of course, but other than that, she doesn't really have anything that does not damage. Just from playing her, I always felt like I would rather have someone else in her slot than her. But like I said, she's so good. Like, setting everyone on fire, that's a lot of damage no matter which way you put it. But most of the time I'm like, I would rather have someone else on my team than her. At the end of the day, this is what I gave her. Solid damage, pretty good durability, but that's really all she has. Mobility is really lacking, and her utility is really just her disarm. Shit. Next, I am giving this the next second worst to Kinetic. Now, don't get me wrong, Kinetic is also really good, like always, but it's another thing where it's just like I'd rather have someone else than Kinetic. Kinetic does quite a lot of damage with just combo. Combo does 3.5 damage by itself, and it delays them. That's like really, really good, just as a base ability. But this is really all he has. Punch doesn't do a whole lot. This arm's really bad. All of his damage is combo. But other than combo, you're not really taking him for damage. It's just like a really good damage ability on like an otherwise supporting character. Because what he's really good at is building up charge. Conduit gives everyone charge. Recharge just gives people charge. Himself charge and his allies charge. Impulse makes it so that enemies are delayed. Combo makes things delayed. And a lot of his team ups are around getting faster or getting extra charge. So him lacking damage, I don't think is that big of a deal. But because I kind of think of more of as more frontline support. But at the same time, in all honesty, I don't think charge is that great. The delay and the extra speed is really, really good. That's the main reason why you would want to take him. The main reason is because like charge is for like recharge, for example, you're spending an action to only give someone one charge most of the time. Once you get this, then you're giving 2 charge for one action, sure, but I think you'd rather use your actions to take out the enemy. Because most of the time I think ultimates are either you want to hold on to them for key scenarios, or you build up charge so fast anyway, it's like I don't really need extra help building it. That's just from my opinion. But otherwise, what do I think of him? Damage-wise, I'm giving him a 2. It might be, actually no, like 3. It's because combo is really good. 2, 3. Really all of his damage comes from combo. That's about all it is, but 3.5 damage for just one action is really good. Most people have to have specific scenarios coming from, like for example, rebound needs to get a backstab for that kind of damage. He just has a baseline. That's like really good. But this is really all he has. Punch doesn't do any damage. Kinesis doesn't, like ever. You get this part, a bit more extra damage, but it's not a ton. Punch does like none. Everything else doesn't really do any damage, but all you really need is combo. Durability, I'm giving him 3 stars because he has, I think, 5 health, which is good. And, you know, that's most people just don't have 5 health, so it's about average. Ignis has her heal, so 4 stars. Other people don't have like less health or nothing else, so that. Mobility, I'm giving him 1 star. I don't think he has any extra mobility. Yeah, no, nothing. He's just base 5 movements, so not that fast. He's just moving. It's not that good. But utility, I'm giving him 4 stars because everything he provides is really, really good. You can easily have him near everyone for team ups because he's on average pretty durable. Can hold his own in a fight, do the combo, and the extra initiative and the delay he provides is like really, really good. I've had it to where I delayed an enemy so many times, gave everyone such high initiative. I was able to go like 2-3 times with everyone before one really big problematic guy even went. Which is like insane. Imagine you're getting 3 times the amount of actions before a boss goes. All the like bosses are into delay and all that stuff after a while, but his utility is really good. Impulse, huge delay on everyone, knocks them back. Very good. Disarm's poor, but you don't care about disarm. And as much as I don't like charge is useful. You get it a bit faster, you can use it more often. Recharge is okay. If you have like nothing else to do, you might as well recharge, but it's like, in my opinion, who cares? And his kinesis is really good. Decent push, decent disarms, huge range, hits multiple people, and because kinetic gets a lot of ult charge, you can use this quite often. Otherwise, unless you're really looking for initiative and charge, he doesn't really provide it much. It's just, yeah. Otherwise, this is the final score I give him. Pretty decent, just lacks in mobility, but it's nothing. The next person, I think, is Hyde. Of course, the last 3 are on here, but Hyde is pretty much a dedicated support. Everything he has is pretty much just for support purposes. Nano Strike, actually, once you get it fully upgraded, is actually pretty decent damage. 2 damage, 5 range, 1 delay. That's actually not terrible. Nano Field, I don't think I've ever used, unfortunately. It's like, I'd rather not get hit, so why would I use this? Like, if I'm using Nano Field, I'm expecting to get hit, but it's like, I'm not expecting to get hit, so I don't use this. Decoy is really, really good, because it just says instead of one of your units who would get hit, another decoy is getting hit. So you build up ult charge with it, and you save another teammate's health. Decoy is really good. And also first aid is really good because it's a heal. You don't get any heal. There's no heals in this game whatsoever. Hyde is the only person who can heal. So just having a heal is really goddamn good. Because it allows you to take slightly more aggressive. You can take a hit knowing that Hyde can just heal it off. If there's like one really tough enemy, you can decoy and slowly heal your entire team. So like if there's like 2 stages or 2 areas to a level, you can just have one enemy constantly throw decoys at them, he'll constantly hit the decoy, and you can just first aid your entire team to full health, go to the next area at full health. It's a little cheesy, but you know, something you can do. Nano Disarm is also another really good disarm. Pretty good range, delay, disarm, 2. It's a really good disarm. And then his team-ups are mostly adding extra delay to people, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember all of his teams, but mostly it's delay. And like I said, delay is really good with kinetic. So you don't want to constantly delay people. and heal people, protect them. That's pretty much what Hyde is. And his ult is actually very unique because you can use everything you have. You can use all your movements, you can use healing. You can use 2 actions, and then you can move, and then you can Nano Titan, and then you can move again, and then you get 2 more actions. And then the next round, you can use your Nano Titan, you can move, you can use both your actions, go back into Hide, and then you get your full movement and 2 actions again. I rarely even use Nano Titan for the full duration. Most of the time I use Hyde's abilities, go to Nano Titan, use its abilities. Next round, use the Nano Titan's abilities, go back to Hyde, go back to doing his stuff. I rarely stay in Nano Titan because you get such a huge, you get pretty much twice the actions for 2 rounds, which is insane in these turn-based strategy games. You just get twice the actions. It's just insane. Otherwise, what do I give him? Damage, I'm giving him 2. Nano Strike is decent, and Nano Titan is pretty good in terms of damage-wise, and so I'm giving him 2. Nano Strike is an okay damage ability, but it's really nothing. But mainly 2 stars because you can rely to get Nano Titan because it's only 3 ult charges for Hyde, and Nano Strike isn't terrible. Once you get fully upgraded, if it's level 1, it reduces it pretty much. But 2 stars mainly for now. For durability, I'm giving him 2 stars. Nano Titan does make him quite durable, but sorry. Nano Titan does make him quite durable. You get 3 health, 50% damage reduction. That's overall 6 health. Overall 6 bars of health, if you know what I mean, effective health. So you can make him stay in Nano Titan quite durable, but I don't think you should rely on Nano Titan being your frontline because you don't have it up all the time, which is the main issue. Really the only way he can ever take damage is through Nano Titan. You can continuously heal himself, but he has 3 health. There's a lot of times where he just gets hit twice and he gets knocked down, and then you lose, on hard at least. So, I don't reliably count on it. If you could have Nano Titan up all the time, he would skyrocket, but really just since you can't stay on Nano Titan all the time, it goes down to 2. Yeah, nothing. Mobility, I'm giving him a 2 just because of Nano Titan. I think it's 5 movement base. But that's it. But Nano Titan is like really, you get twice the movement essentially. So yeah, and once you get Nano Titan, you can get a lot of extra movement, but otherwise it's not that great. And utility, I'm giving him a full 5 because that's everything he is utility. Decoy, that's your team from getting hit. That's really, really good. First aid, if you do get hit, you heal up. That's really good in a game with mostly no healing. What's this on? It's really good. A ton of delay, which is really, really good. And I guess Nano Revive on easy, you get some extra range to heal people, to revive people, but I'm at casuals because I did hard. But everything he has is just pure utility. Like, you just constantly healing people, you prevent people from getting hit, constantly delaying people. It's great. Everything about him, utility-wise, is just awesome. Right. Now we get to the hard part. The first 3 I knew. But these next 5, I honestly have a hard time ranking up. Because they're actually really, really close, in my opinion, to like when I would want each of them. But It's tough, you know, honestly. I even know I'm like thinking. I know who the top one is actually, but the next four are like you can honestly kind of swap them, and I could agree with you, but yeah, it's tough. But I think the next one I kind of have to give to. They're just so good. The next ones, but it's just. I think I gotta give it to Mindfire. Again, that gets tough, but I think I'm gonna give it to Mindfire. Really, all Mindfire is damage. He has the highest damage in the game. Like he just completely destroys everything the second he touches it. Like you use focus, which gives you an extra action. Then you can use 2 barrages. You can vulnerable them, and then you can use your telekinesis twice. That's 4 attacks at plus 75% damage. And the damage of these are insanely high, 2.5 and 4. That's like, I don't even know the damage of that, but that's pretty much whatever he is attacking is dead, essentially. You can easily attack 3 enemies and they'll all die. Unfortunately, that's like all he really has, unfortunately. Getting out of the way damage is obviously 5 out of 5. He does the most damage in the entire game. And there are many times where I'm like, Mindfire is going on this team because there's a lot of really high health units and no one kills them faster than Mindfire. But like I said, it's really all he has. Durability, he gets 1. He has nothing to help him survive. He has 2 health, which is completely poor. You can easily get 1 shot by most things. And he has no way of keeping himself alive, really. You have pushback, but really, if you're getting hit, you're probably getting down anyway. But that's really all he has. Mobility, I'm giving him 2 stars for mobility because of shift. Shift is quite useful getting around, but that's really all he has. I guess a slight advantage he has is that he doesn't ladders don't take 2 movements from him, and he can move up despite not being a ladder. But I have found this to be not that useful. It's a nice little extra thing he has, but usually most of the time you're like, I'm not doing it, it's whatever. Most of the time you don't even notice it or use it. But shift is quite good at getting around. It pretty much boosts his mobility. 10 hexes doubles his movement essentially, but still not that great, all things considered, because he's still hindered by like boxes in the way, and there's like shift isn't as good as other mobility tools because it's a straight line, obstacles block it, and all that stuff. And then utility, I'm giving him at least 2 stars. I'll give him a solid 3 stars. For utility, all of his team-ups rely on to get extra initiative. Sometimes it increases the range, sometimes it gives you charge. His team-ups are everywhere, when I can remember. His disarm is like, there's only 1 disarm, you really never use this. Advantage is actually really good once you start using it. If there's nothing to attack, I'm always using advantage. Again, vulnerable not only ups your damage, it ups your entire team's damage to almost double, which is insane. I'm adding this towards utility too because it helps everyone. It's just his utility is okay. I'll give him 3 stars for that. But again, if you're using Mind Fire, you're using him for damage. 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 Everything about him is just damage. The most damage. Honestly, you could just have him be your only damage dealer, and you could honestly be fine. That's how much damage Mind Fire does. Alright, the next best, I think, is going to have to be Weatherman. I think these 3, once I get to them, but you'll see why. They kind of just do a lot of things. Weathervane, though, is one of those people that kind of does everything. His main focus is AoE damage and not so much single target. His Chain Lightning and his ult do a really good job at hitting a lot of people, and that's the main reason why you're going to want to be using him, is for his AoE damage. But his, well, first off, let's go through damage. I'm going to give him 4 stars in damage because he does a lot of AoE damage. Like, once you get to a mission and you just get a decent Chain Lightning, that's a ton of damage. You get a Chain Lightning off. If you hit 8 people, you get your ults, and then that's his 3.5 damage, just this. Adds delay to them when you max it out, which is, again, really good. So everyone you hit is now going later down the line. And then your ult has a huge range once you get it, once you upgrade it, and it does extra damage. It's really good. He does have a single target one, which is Punch. Punch is okay, but you're really... Punch is like okay if there's like one enemy to hit. You'd rather punch someone than Chain Lightning them. But if there's ever 2 people next to each other, you honestly just want to use Chain Lightning because it gives a bit more. Punch does give some disarm, but that's where we get to utility. Durability, I'm giving him 3 stars just because he has 5 health. That's all he really has in durability, but it's not nothing. Mobility, I'm giving him 3 stars in this too, because Leap is actually really good. This is the only mobility one, but 5 range. It ignores obstacles. You can be anywhere within 5, it's not just a straight line. So you can go up cliffs, you can go over gaps. Again, basically doubles his movement similar to Dash, or Mind Fire's Dash thing. Swift, but I think it's just better because it, again, it's ignores obstacles, you go up, down, left, right, anywhere within range. It's similar to most attacks in this game. So that's why I gave him 3 stars, just because Leap is honestly that good. And then for utility, I'm giving him 4 stars. I'm not gonna quite give him 5 because his team-ups are kinda eh. Most of his team-ups are about pushing people and a little bit about lightning. I think a few attacks about cheating. Most of the time it's pushing people, which is good, but a lot of times you're like, if you don't need to push people, you don't want to ever use his team-ups. Like when you want to push people, it's really good, obviously, but a lot of times you're like, I don't really want to push people, so I'm not gonna. Why am I pushing people? But Drag, Gust, and Punch, all of these are really, really good because you're moving people around. All of these disarm. He's got some of the best disarm in the game. He's got good delay with his Chain Lightning, which he hit a lot of people with it. Shock is something if you pull him to you or you push some people into him. Extra disarm for the extra charge, 2 damage, it's okay, but I don't really count shock because it's hard to get it off. But you can get it off with this drag, so there's that. But really, it's just he has so many ways of pushing people, pushing, pulling people, disarm. And a lot of things, I don't know, you can actually use this stuff on your teammates. You can push your teammates. You can pull your teammates to you. So if they're like about to get hit, you can use drag to pull them away to help you. And so he, like I said, Revenant is kind of just, he kind of does everything. Single target damage he does lacking, but everyone else does single target damage other than like Ignis and him. But another reason why I put Ignis at the bottom is because I think Weathervane is just better at AoE damage, and I think he provides way more utility. So I put him up here. So yeah. Next. Top 3. Again, this is tricky. The next two are honestly kind of go hand in hand, but you gotta pick one. And I think after looking at them, I think the next is Rebound. Rebound and the next person on the list could honestly be swapped. It's really tough, but I'll rather giving it to Rebound. Rebound is another person who can, like, she kind of does a lot of things. The only thing she doesn't have is durability. But even then, you can kind of, she's so fast and mobile, like, she should never get hit, similar to a couple of people, but she doesn't have 2 health. But either way. Rebound is all about mobility, teleporting, backstabs, all that stuff. Damage-wise, I'm giving her 4 stars because she does a lot of damage. Teleport spin and strike, that's just a ton of damage. It's like almost a guaranteed kill. And then if you get in a stealth mission, she can easily one-shot people, getting like pretty much guaranteed. She just does a lot of damage. Her ult's also really goddamn good. 7 attacks once you max it out. 2 damage each, so that's 14 damage, and you're disarming each hit. So if you hit 5 people, they're probably all disarmed. They all take a lot of damage. Or if you target one person, they're guaranteed to die, unless they have multiple health bars. But she does a lot of damage. Second highest damage in the game, I think, but it's a lot. Other than damage and mobility, it's kind of whatever. Durability, I'm giving her 2 stars. The only reason I give her 2 stars is because of Fade. Fade is actually like really goddamn good. Before you move in, you can fade. And it lasts for 3 turns, so you can fade, and the next time you would get hit, you instead don't. Which is really good, because if you were going to take 2 damage, now you don't take 2 damage. You just don't take any. But this is all she has, that's why I give her 2 stars. It is actually a really good ability. Like, if you use it with passive shield shard, you can ignore 2 hits, which is like really goddamn good. Like you can, like if someone does 2 attacks, you instead take them, which is quite good. But you do need faster than that. Her team ups, really all she has is her teleport one. It's like all she does. I'm pretty sure it's like all she does is her teleport. Yeah, all she has is teleport. She doesn't help in any other way other than just teleport. But don't get me wrong, teleport's really good, especially for those who have no mobility. But unfortunately, I don't give it a ton. First off, mobility, I'm giving her 5 stars for mobility because I think 6 movement base. She teleports, or she goes over obstacles. She ignores height. So she's actually really goddamn fast. Plus her teleport spin essentially doubles her movement in a way. She's really goddamn fucking fast. That's fun. But otherwise, her utility, I'm giving her a 1-star on that just because you don't really use her for everything else. Like Shadow Blast, I never really use Shadow Blast. Even though it's a 3 disarm for multiple people, you would rather have her do damage because you would rather have her just kill the people than have them be disarmed. Unless you like absolutely need to disarm someone, I never use this. Sanction is okay, but like I said, if you just kill the person, then they don't get that action anyway. You really only use this for bosses if you really need to. But it's like you would rather just kill them. And also like her only team up being teleport actually does put it behind because if you have mobility with Mind Fire, Weathervane has mobility, Mercurial has mobility. Even Ignis, if you do have a flame teleport, like you'd rather just use that. And it takes an action, really. That's really the main problem. There's really only two people who would want to use it. And that's Kinetic and Passive, because they don't have any base mobility themselves. And they want to be closer to the enemy. Like for Hide, you don't really use it unless you like need to get him away from people. But the odds that he's 3 spaces away from Kinetic or from Rebound and wants to teleport, it's not very likely. But yeah, like that's really all she has. But like I said, either you don't want to, well, there's a lot of times where you don't want to use it, you'd rather use other actions, or you just don't want to use it for the mobility. You honestly would rather use the extra action for ult charge. It happens quite often. But either way, she's really goddamn good in that she just hammers people. She does so much damage. Second only to Mind Fire. Mind Fire just has damage out the ass, but yeah. Second best Mercurial. Damage, I'm giving her 2 stars. Her only 2 damage ability, like she does damage a lot at times, but it's not a lot of damage. Like kick and thrust only do 1.5 damage. If you knock them into something, it goes into 2. You use both, it's 4 damage, which is like okay, but that's not enough to kill people most of the time. But even her disarm does damage. Dash does a little bit of damage, but you're not using her for damage. You're using her for everything else. Durability, I'm giving her 2 stars. She has 4 health base. That's it. She doesn't have any other ways to like increase your health or make extra hits, but most of the time she's not taking damage anyway. But 4 health is a good threshold to where she's usually going to be able to take 2 hits or 1 really big hit and be fine. Mobility is an obvious 5. She's a speedster. 6 movement base. Dash has a range of 9. Plus rushing kick, the extra range, extra mobility there. Overclock gives her a shit ton of extra turns and everything else. Like, it's just, she's really goddamn fast. But I think the main reason you want to use her is her utility, because everything she does pushes or disarms or both. Like rushing kick. You kick someone, you get extra movements, you disarm them, and you push them. For one button, you are doing 4 things you want to do. You want to move, you want to disarm them, you want to push them, and you do damage. Like rushing kick is like just does everything. Her regular punch pushes them forward once you get it maxed. 4, that's like an entire person's movement. Quick hands, like I said, 1 damage, 3 disarm, that's really goddamn good. And overclock, like it just gives you like 4 extra turns, pretty much. Like it's insane. And it's really easy to get. All you need to do to get her ult charge is to just hit things. So it's really easy to get her ultimates. Punch, and then you kick, punch, you got your ults, there you go. And you just get a ton of extra action. And with those actions you can do so much stuff. You can get all the way across the map, you can probably knock out 2 guys with it, you can disarm multiple people. It's just extra turns. In all turn-based strategy games, extra turns is the best stuff you can get. But like I said, I think Rebound and Mercurial are pretty close. Like, you take Mercurial if you want to disarm people and you want to push people. And you take Rebound if you want to kill people. Like, really, these two probably go neck to neck, but I think overall I'd use Mercurial just because a lot of challenges revolve around knocking people off of ledges and disarming people, and Mercurial just does that. Better than everyone. I guess Weather Vane is also up there for doing the bad thing. Mercurial is just better at doing that. And honestly, we know who I think the best person is, because there's only one left, and that is Facet. Just because until you get high for healing, I think you just need Facet for the durability provides. I was just skipping straight to durability. 5 out of 5. Obviously, his whole gimmick is he is grunting. Crystallize gives him, he has 5 health base. Crystallize gives him half damage reduction, 80% towards range damage. He just has twice everyone's health, maybe even more. Like, he is, like, you just need the health. In a game where there's no healing, and there are a lot of scenarios where someone needs to get hit, you want Facet, because Facet wants to get hit. That's even how you get his ult, is by getting hit. So it does 2 things. His taunt is another thing. Forces people to attack him. If they were gonna hit someone else, now they're gonna hit Facet, who wants to get hit. Growth is actually really goddamn good. I think probably the best ability in the game. There are so many times where growth is synchronized. You growth someone who's ranged right in their face, now they can't tag anyone. You growth someone who's melee, now they're mobile for 1 turn. But really what this does is that it removes choke points. Let's say there's 2 paths the enemies can come from. You use growth on 1 path, now they have to take the 1 path. And guess what? Facet can then clog up that lane. Now they're coming in 1 at a time. They have to go through Facet in his, on average, 10 health. And you can see like why he's so goddamn good. Instead of having like 5 people coming at you at once, now they're just 1 person at a time going through a funnel, and the rest of the team can just clear out everyone else very slowly. And like a shield chart is similar to Rebound's Fade. It just says 1 time you would get hit, instead you don't. And it lasts for 2 turns when you max out, so you can shield charge someone, and then you know they're safe for 2 turns. For 2 turns, they can't take any damage. Which is good! His disarm's pretty bare bones, basic, not the best disarm, but it is 2, so it's pretty good. His shard strike is not that great, but like I said, it's actually okay because 2 damage at 2 range, push 2. That's pretty decent for a dedicated team. And his shard lockdown just says everyone there is immobilized. And then when you get these 2 upgrades, it gets even better. 1 less action, huge. Gives shield charge all out as a range, huge. So your entire team has shield shards, and the entire team has 1 less action. You can hit as many people as you want. You hit like 5 people with this, and your entire team. Now they all have 1 less action. You have a full shield, which means they can't take any damage. Huge. I guess we go through damage. I actually didn't give 2 stars because I have to give 1 star. He just doesn't do any damage. Charge strike is all his damage. It's okay for damage, but I have to give him 1 star. I guess opportunist is something, but a lot of times it's whatever. It's weird because obviously you want to get hit, but as the more further on you in the game, you get so good at finding the choke points. You get so good at using growth that half the time he doesn't even take damage because you're constantly using shield growth, constantly using the shield shard, you're constantly using growth, and you're just making it so they can't even hit you. Hit anyone. And after that, getting hit is better than getting hit because you're not taking any damage. But yeah, 1 star because he's not doing damage. Mobility, 1 star. When you use crystallize, it's 3 movements. When you get it upgraded, it's 4. No base mobility. He's the slowest person in the game by far, but I don't think that's actually an issue. Both his damage and his mobility aren't issues because usually Facet is in the spot where you want to be. Usually what happens is the rest of your team is going out doing stuff, and then they retreat back to Facet, and then Facet protects them. So him having low ability actually isn't that big of a downside for most of the time. Sometimes it is a huge downside, but it's not that big of a downside because usually your team goes out somewhere, does something, and then they come back to Facet because Facet can easily protect everyone in your team. And for utility, I'm giving him a full 5 stars because all of his team-ups are great. All of his team-ups are pretty much extra damage, extra growths, or there's a couple other things. I think for Ignis it's a burn, and for Mindfire it's tons of extra range. But everything else is pretty much just you get extra damage, and that's like really good because extra damage is extra damage. Extra damage means you kill people faster. And considering he's a tank, he doesn't have to do anything, and he gives everyone a ton of extra damage just by existing, that's really goddamn good. But mainly it's just because of everything I talked about. Like, he prevents your entire team from getting hit. He forces choke points, which is amazing. Shard lockdown's good. Taunt, everything he has is good. The only thing he doesn't have is like a disarm, but even so, his disarms actually usable. Like, it's really only useful once you get the upgrade where you get extra disarm. Otherwise, you never would use it. But everything else about him is just so good. Shield shard is amazing. Growth is amazing. Taunt is amazing. Crystallize is amazing. Like, everything about him is just like I think I've done every mission with Facet just because I've tried several missions without him, and every single time I'm always like, I kind of want Facet. I need Facet, just because he makes, in my opinion, I think he makes the game a lot easier. Just because now you have a failsafe if you do have to take damage, because Facet can easily take it and be fine. Anyway, that is my tier list. Like I said, with a lot of things, this is my personal opinion. Accept it or not, whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's my very low quality stuff, but anyway, I'll see you next time.